Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Emotional Child Safety Session in collaboration with WICCI Youth and Community Empowerment Council and WICCI Equitable Parenting Council. Now, before I move ahead, I will talk a little bit about the WICCI. So, WICCI stands for Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It's a non political, non religious, and a voluntary organization. They're experts who have come together to volunteer their time, effort, and skill so that every parent, responsible adults, and the community at large get the right knowledge and feel empowered in supporting the children under their care. Vicky was founded by Dr. Harbin Arora Rai. She has been a founder of G100 All Ladies League, Women Economic Forum, Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, She Economy. She is a Chancellor of Rai Technology University, Jharkhand Rai University. She is among the top most reputable people on the earth. She is a thought leader, global icon, and visionary for women, businesswoman, philanthropist, author, humanitarian, spiritual speaker, and compelling speaker. She manifests multifaceted leadership with strength and simplicity. We have the National President of Youth and Community Empowerment Council, Ms. Moumita Chakraborty. She is an Indian entrepreneur, founder, and CEO of Destination Tours and Travels, humanitarian travel blogger, YouTuber, mental health mentor, political observer, passionate singer, and photographer. She is one of the speaker today. She is also volunteer as the president of Youth and Community Empowerment Council, G100 Mission Million, India Country Chair for Human Rights and Dignity Wing. She has been facilitated with Young Achiever Award 2022 at India's Most Rated Rounder 2022, held in New Delhi on 30th, National Business Leadership Award 2019 for Destination Tours and Travel. She is a great follower of Ma Saraswati, freedom fighter Subhash Chandra Bose, and business tycoon Sri Ratan Tata. Welcome, Moumita Chakraborty. And we have Aziel, National President of uh, founder at GPS for Parents, School and Parent Mentor, International Bureaucrat Scholarship Awardee, Best Young Principal Awardee in 2020. She is a queen of curriculum and development training. Welcome, Aziel. So today's session is about the emotional safety of children, and that's something as one of my purpose in life, where we want to make sure that we give a safe home and safe schools for the children who are growing up. So I personally work with co-founder of Hill Foundation, counseling psychologist, and social emotional learning educator. I've worked with multiple students and teachers for their emotional well-being through workshop and individual session. So today's speakers are going to be Momita, Sujata, and Krishna. And with that, I would like to invite Momita to start her session and then take this forward. Welcome, Momita. All yours.
Thank you so much, Miss Chaitali, for such a wonderful introduction about me. Good evening, everyone. Can I have a thumbs up from all of you that you all are present here? Thank you so much. So, this is a webinar series on child safety. It is a collaboration between Youth and Community Empowerment Council, the national sector under WICCI, and also Equitable Parenting Council. And this is one of the most important series which focuses on different aspects of child safety. The previous one, the session was on physical child safety, and today's one is on emotional child safety. And I am an adult now, but I was someday a child. Although I'm not an expert, but I was someday a child. So I think I very much relate to children till now. And I gel up with kids very easily. And I understand their emotional quotient. So today, in this session, I would like to talk about the emotional aspects of children's um, safety, right? And I will try to cut it short to 5 points, 5 points majorly. That is beginning with the development of the emotional quotient in children. But before that, we also need to know what is actually emotional quotient. That is number two. And how do children adapt, react, and change while growing during the different stages of life. They have different stages of life called infancy, or like early childhood, middle childhood, adolescence, adulthood, like that. And the fourth point will be how emotional quotient can be enhanced in children. And the last and the final point will be how can we help children to feel secured emotionally, because that is very much needed in today's generation. So with all of your due permission, I would begin. What is emotional quotient, right? Because today I'm going to talk about the emotional quotient on children. But the basic the basic description or definition of emotional quotient, also in short known as EQ, is the other name of nothing but emotional intelligence, right? That is the ability to understand, use, and manage our emotions effectively. Then in case of children, it encompasses their ability to perceive the emotions in themselves and also the people around them, and they use this emotional information in order to think, in order to behave, and in order to manage their emotional capacities, and adjust with the environment amongst them, and they achieve their goals which they want to in different stages of life. So now, talking as we understood what is the emotional quotient, now let us focus on the development of emotional quotient in children, because we have very short limited time, so I'll try to be as fast as possible. So the emotional quotient in children have different perspectives. For example, thinking and cognitive processing, then we have growth and development, and we have responses and behavior. Now each of these things are again divided in small parts. For example, thinking and cognitive processing among these children have different sets. For example, emotional perception, then there is emotional reasoning, which is slightly different to emotional perception, and then we have metacognition. So now what is emotional perception? Emotional perception gradually in children, what happens is like they become adapt to identifying their own emotions and advancing into complex understanding about how the emotion in this world occurs, right? And then emotional reasoning is slightly different, because that is the infancy stage I spoke about. That is the emotional perception, how the kids gain. Then, when we come to emotional reasoning, as the children grow, the children learn to use the emotional information in making their own decisions. So they start to predict the emotional outcomes of their actions. For example, they are playing with a doll, and they need to study, for example, and the mother is just rolling her eye and just giving a look like that. What are you doing? So they try to understand and adapt those emotions, and they what they do is like, okay, they understood that this is not a good thing they are doing, it is time for them to study. So they try to adapt to the environment amongst them and utilize that, and make them on work, right? They start to predict what is their actions resulting into, and then they start to interact with the people around them. And then what is metacognition? So metacognition, it comes and in the older children. This metacognition thing comes in the older children, not old children, sorry, older children, or basically the teenagers or adolescents during this period. So they develop the ability to think over their emotional thinking, allowing them to reflect in better and emotional growth. That is the time when they gain puberty and also the teenage strikes. So that is metacognition. Now, talking about the growth and development of the emotional quotient of children. So there are a lot of things, but especially I would focus on three things, which is attachment and relationships, then socialization, and then cultural influences. These three are one of the major aspects of growth and development among the emotional quotient in children. For example, secure attachments with the caregivers, or maybe the parents, or maybe their siblings, or somebody near and dear to them, helps them in developing their emotional quotient in children. So, positive relationships with the parents and teachers or friends, in case if they have a good environment, that those are very important to develop the EQ or emotional intelligence among these children. Then socialization. Socialization is one of the most crucial aspects for the growth and development of an emotional intelligence in any child, right? So interaction not only happens these days, physically, but also happens online. So they there are a lot of kids these days who are on social media using their parents' account. So that also gives them one kind of environment where they can socialize with people around them. So it's not only about the family they are staying, being a kid, not going only to the school, um, or just staying at home, but also connecting to the entire world. So they understand in children, when they speak to the kids, they try to understand the other kids' expressions. They try to resolve the conflict in case there are three friends playing. They try to, for example, the two are fighting. They try to resolve the conflict and then try to bring in cooperation among themselves. This is the basic thing. They fear from hurting themselves, or fighting or something negative, right? So that is socialization, and this is what makes them socially more impactful for the future. So this is the building time. So group activities like preschool we have and play schools we have, that helps them a lot in socialization. Then the cultural influences. For example, each of us are born into different cultures, different families, different kinds of atmosphere. Probably if someone is listening to us from abroad, they have a different culture. India has a different culture. Each part and each state of India has a different culture. So the culture influences a lot in the growth and development of the emotional intelligence in a child. So, cultural norms, values, for example, in case somebody follows a particular religion, some people follow a particular kind of language, someone follows different kinds of activities, be it spiritual, be it emotional, be it mental, be it meditation. These kinds of norms or values help people or the children in basic to grow and manage their expressions, right? For example, you might have seen that we keep, like I'm talking, as I'm a Hindu, I'm talking about kid, we keep laddu gopal in our home. Some kids love talking to gods, right? Like if somebody is Christian, they would speak to Jesus. That those they are taught since childhood to connect and follow their norms. So this is the cultural influences we put on the kids, which help in the growth and development of their emotional quotient. Then there are responses and also the behavioral patterns which affect. So the first thing is self regulation. So effective self emotional regulation leads to better focus amongst kids, adaptability and resilience. Children with high IQ are basically the ones who can handle frustration. They you know, back up from the setbacks. And also, what they do is they are very good at making friends. Then comes social interactions, which is also another part of social interaction or socialization. So, high IQ children are very good in speaking and connecting with others, other peers. of their own self age, or maybe people who are older to them or younger to them. They are good at other games and things like that. And then comes the academic performances. Emotional intelligence supports the academic success of the kids by improving their focus, their motivation, their perseverance. And then children who manage their emotions will tend to perform in a better way as compared to the ones who are not, given those kind of growth and personality development. Now, talking about how these kids or the children adapt, react, and manage and change while growing during the different stages of life. I will explain about that. See, there are there are four stages from childhood to being an adult. That is early childhood, which comes between 0 to 5 years of age. So during that period, the child or the infant understands the sign languages. That is the recognition of emotions. Then they express their emotions. For example, the infant is hungry and wants to feed milk, or maybe he or she wants to pee or poop. They have different signs which they show to express their emotions, like crying, or they have different sound voices which they make in order to make the caregiver or the parent understand what kind of emotions they are going through, what they want from the person they are interacting with, trying to interact with. Okay. And emotional regulation. Then comes the middle childhood age, that is the age between 6 years to 12 years of age, right? That time what happens is the child has already become conscious, has gained the consciousness, and is able to speak now. So that time they are acquainted with complex emotions. So during this phase, the child understands jealousy, different kinds of emotions. During infancy period, they only understand few emotions, that is happiness, anger, crying, and pain, those kind of things. But during this middle childhood, which is during the age of 6 to 12, they understand the complex emotions such as jealousy, pride, shame. These things slowly start coming into their minds. So they begin to understand mixed emotions, that what they fail to differentiate between fear and shame. And jealousy strikes in, and they try to compete with other kids among themselves. And that is the time when we need to focus so much on their development and growth. Then they also understand empathy and social awareness. For example, they understand how they need to present themselves in front of the world. They need to empathize with others. They need to understand the different perspectives, how the world works, and develop stronger social connections, right? And then the last thing is emotional regulation. What they do is during this period, the child learns different kinds of strategies. They learn to control their emotions. For example, they want to say something, but they hide those things. They now understand that I have to say this and I do not have to say this. And they seek support, try to seek support in case if they are able to rely on somebody, or they feel that, okay, I can trust that person. And try to, gain their concentration back from the distraction they have, because this is the age where there is different kinds of mixed emotions and feelings. Then comes the most tough stage of life in a children, that is the adolescence, that is the teenage, which is from 13 to 18 years of age. After that we become an adult, so that is the most crucial stage. So that is the time during adolescence we all gain self awareness. We understand how the world works. We understand how we need to react to different kinds of situations. We understand how we need to talk, what we need to talk, what we should not talk. Then how we should express our feelings, with whom we should express our feelings, with whom we should not express our feelings. So there are different kinds of um, mixed emotions which strikes in that age. And also interpersonal skills grow during that time. Like everybody tries to compete with each other. For example, a kid of a 7th or 8th standard would compete with their fellow children in class, that I want to be a topper in class, I want to gain this much marks, or the parents also tell them ki your friend is doing better than you, which is very wrong, because each child is born different and we must never compare one child to a different child, because everybody has been given a special set of unique quality by Ma Saraswati. I believe that. And each child, probably he or she is not good at the average education, probably they are gifted so well in something else which is not yet available in this world. They might be geniuses in their own field, right? So this is the time when they understand, okay, somebody likes singing, somebody likes drawing, somebody likes painting, and that is the most important phase of life, when the parents or the caregivers or the teachers must understand, or the gurus must understand the kids perspective, that okay, this kid has got this idea, and they should focus on the kids growth and development, understanding their emotional intelligence, right? And during this period also, there is another last point which the child or the adolescent copies, is the mechanisms of the environment among them. So they try to dress up properly, they try to look good, they feel that okay, they set goals for their future, they try to do something for the society, they feel that okay, I have to make my personality or my presence felt amongst others, right? So these are the some of the skills, or I would say the growth and development changes in the different stages of life, from early childhood to adolescence. Now I will move to emotional quotient. In between, if anybody has questions, please feel free to ask me. And now moving ahead to the emotional quotient of children, which can be enhanced, right? Those include three major things, that is parental involvement. Second thing involves emotional coaching, and then educational programs. I'll keep it very short. Parental involvement is very much important. It's not only about parent; it's also about the elder siblings, or the if somebody is staying in a joint family. That is very much important to take a note about what your kid is doing, where they are focused in, what is their emotional intelligence, and they are free to express their emotions. They should be given that freedom to express their emotions with you, and you should not judge them. And in case if you start beating them up, they will never share their emotional situations with you ever again. Then emotional coaching is very much important, guiding children through different experiences. There are a lot of these days, there are a lot of emotional coaching facilities available. We should validate their feelings, teaching them to cope with the different strategies and enhance their emotional quotient. And the educational programs, we can set up social emotional learning programs for kids to enhance their emotional quotient, right? And the last thing now I would speak is about how can we help children to feel secured emotionally. Supporting children is very much important, because if we are able to support even a single children, they are the future of the world, not only a particular country. And the way we support our kids, we make sure how our future will work, right? So supporting children in emotional safety involves creating a secure, supportive environment where they feel valued and understood. There are several ways to promote emotional child safety. For example, open communication. We should communicate with the kids around us, and we should, make sure that they feel comfortable while speaking to us. Right. Second, teaching them emotional literacy. That is very much important. There are different kinds of kids, as I said. So we need to understand, make them understand that there is a thing called empathy, there is a thing called kindness, there is a thing called positivity. So once we start teaching them these skills from childhood, they will understand others better and they will make the society better. So emotional literacy is very much important. Provide them consistency and structure, promote their self esteem, teach them the problem solving skills, monitor their media exposure. For example, they are utilizing or using any social media, monitor their media exposure, foster a self safe relationship. Because even children are not safe at home also sometimes, so foster safe relationship and make them understand about the good touch and bad touch so that they are safe at home and even outside home, and provide positive support and encourage social connections. That's what I wanted to share with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Momita, to covering the how the children emotionally grow and develop, and how as a parents we can support them to create a safe environment home and build a good, meaningful relationship with the friends and family. Thank you so much. And with that, I would like to invite Sujata. And before I hand over the mic to her, I'll just introduce her. Can you see my screen? So, Sujata Patnaik is a performance driven trainer and mentor for women and corporate new hires. She is a founder of the VOBD podcast, exploring stories of adaptability, resilience, and growth. Specializing in soft skill, behavior, and leadership training, she has empowered more than 4,000 women and corporate employees. Committed to personal and professional growth, she aspired to be a trusted leadership and a behavioral trainer, mentor, and creative podcast host. Thank you so much, Sujata, for coming in, and all yours.
Thank you so much, Chaitali, for the wonderful introduction. Thanks a lot. Hello, everyone. Good evening. So, I would like to start with a story of my own maternal grandmother. Right, she was a very lovable woman, and very soft, gentle, grounded, and had high morals. Right. So here I am not talking about children, but then I'm coming back from adult to childhood, how it impacts. Right. So if you are wondering that why did she start with a grandmother story, right? So 7 years before her death, she was affected with Alzheimer's, a disease which causes memory loss, right? And she would forget like whether she had food or not, she had bath or not, all menial things she would forget. She stopped recognizing people. You know, strangely, still she started becoming very abusive, very abusive. We have never seen her like that. We have never known her like that. And I wondered, where was it coming from? It was all coming from the memory of the experiences which was left unprocessed, suppressed, unexpressed. All those emotions were coming out, right? Now, no one knows what experiences were they except for her, and never came to know about it. So I came to understand this only when I started my training career, how beliefs and emotions of our experiences impact us, especially the one which are, occurred during our childhood. So small incidents can cause the beliefs in us as a child. How many times you have heard about ghost stories in your childhood? Your uncle, auntie, or some dur ke rishtedar would have told you all about ghost stories. The minute light is off, everyone else would start screaming, right? Why? Because those memories of those ghost stories come rushing in, and then you get scared. This is how the emotions impact us. They start creating, building some memories in our subconscious mind, and the minute any such experience we come across, immediately they rush in, and we start getting either scared or whatever emotion we might have gone through at that point of time, that comes rushing in, right? And in fact, Unfortunately, it takes huge efforts to come out of those beliefs and those fears or those emotions stored in us. And those any such similar experiences again and again start building our beliefs very, very strong. Let me share you a story of an alcoholic father. He had two sons, right? Now let's see how the both the children have processed their emotions of the situation and the experience that they have gone through. Both the sons saw the father was an alcoholic. Day in, day out, he would drink and make a ruckus in the house, right? The elder son saw that and he got influenced with the father. He said, I'll also drink. It's nice fun. Okay, let me follow my father's footstep. The younger one felt that he realized what were the consequences, the kind of ruckus that was created at home, right? And when he grew up, he became a total teetotaler. So both the children going through the same experience, but the processing was altogether different, right? Let me share one more story. This lady was around 7 or 8 years old, and her grandmother had come home. She used to come home and get some chocolate sweets for the children. So when she once it so happened that the child and the younger sister and mother were out shopping, and she was all alone. Grandma handed over the chocolates to this girl, and she took it. She got tempted. She ate both the chocolates, her sisters and hers as well. And she kept quiet. She didn't want to tell mama because that was a temptation. She could not resist. But finally she felt, okay, let me not tell mommy because I'll get shoutings. Right now, what happened is when mama came back, she saw the chocolate wrappers in the bin. She got annoyed and she asked her that did granny get some chocolates. She was not prepared for this, and all of a sudden she said and no. She got nice bangings, maybe thrashings as well. So that particular emotion has created a guilt in her. She started feeling that I am a liar, I'm a thief, I stole my sister's chocolate, and on top of that, I lied to my mother. And guess what? When she grew up, as an adult, also that belief carried on. Even in office situation, when there was some kind of, acknowledgement, some kind of award given to her, she used to feel that she is stealing her team's credit. She never used to feel that she owns that credit. This is how the emotions, impact us. Now, what happens? Why we cannot process it? They become the belief system. I'll tell you another story of a man visiting a elephant camp. Right, in that camp, he sees that the elephants are tied with a very thin rope, and when he goes and asks the camp the master out there, that guy says, sir, there is no rocket science as such. When they were children, we used to tie the same rope, and they are conditioned, they are believed that this rope, this thin rope can still stop me, not let me break free. This is the kind of beliefs that our emotions start building on us. So, what happens, like, as adults, we have not processed our own emotions. That hugely impacts our own children. So, one of the best ways to heal is start expressing yourself. Become vulnerable. Be open. You might have done wrong, but after all, we are human beings. No one is 100% right. It's absolutely fine to make mistakes. To repeat the mistakes is wrong, but to make mistakes is not. Be there for your child and listen to them. Tell them that it's absolutely okay to make mistakes. One of the best ways, I would like to give you a few techniques wherein it would be very helpful for you to help your child to uh, deal with different situations. Start with stories. Tell them stories of adversities, especially give them stories of situations. You may give your own situation and ask the child, don't give the conclusion, tell them to end the story. That's a beautiful way to process their emotions or their thought process, that what best can I do. Let them come up with answers. Nothing is right, nothing is wrong, right? Then guide them. What is morally correct? What is, can do, can't do? What could be the consequences? Have 1 hour session every week. You will see the benefit. The second best technique to implement is help them write about their own feelings, especially when they are feeling low, when they are feeling guilty or sad. Simply, you would see children start crying, right? Mama, I'm feeling very sad, I'm feeling very low. Let them pour out. Don't tell them that crying is a wrong thing. Don't tell them that crying is a negative emotion. It's not. Let them pour out. Let it come out. Tell them to write it. Okay. At times children cannot express their feelings. Tell them whatever has happened, it's okay. If you are not able to tell, write it on a paper and destroy that paper. Don't keep it, don't read it. But what you need to follow is be grateful for the things that are around you, however small it is. You have a lovely family, you have a beautiful house, you have wonderful toys, you have books, whatever they are. Okay, teaching them the attitude of gratitude is a beautiful blessing that you can give. Make it a daily ritual, daily practice of uh, saying gratitude, maybe once a day, twice a day, or just before going to sleep, or just after waking up. These build the positive emotions in them, because when you are grateful, you stop complaining. Either you can complain or you can be grateful. So that's all from my end. I wanted to keep it short and sweet, simple. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sujata, for wonderful your incidents and the stories, which helps parents to understand that how important it is to see that how children are processing the emotion, because it gets converted into belief system and it kind of seeps into their adulthood as well, right? Thank you so much. We'll take a questions towards the end, Sujata, and with that, let's welcome Krishna. Krishna is an education veteran, CCA certified SCP coach, founder of QT Marks Career Counseling Services, guiding young adults to make interest and stand based career choices using scientifically proven tools and techniques. 2 decades of experience in nurturing and thriving academic institutions from inception. Presidential Award winner for the community service, serving as a founding headmistress for 2 educational institute. With that, uh, I would Krishna, this is all yours, and we would love to hear you. Krishna, we can't hear you. Are you on mute?
You need to unmute yourself, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, now able to. Actually, I was not able to unmute myself. So happy evening to everyone, and thank you, Chaitali, for such a beautiful introduction. So yeah, And before that, just two speakers, Moumita and Suchata. You were amazing. Very beautifully explained what is emotional safety and where, whatever, the emotional baggages, how we carry and how it disturbs. So, yeah, Chetali, can I share my screen? Okay, let me try it quickly. I will not
You
take
should be
much
able to.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute. Yeah.
You got an option to share? You have that option available?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
got that. Yeah. So I hope you are able to see my screen, right? Hello?
Yes, we can see your screen, Krishna. Yeah.
Yes, we are able to see you.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Yes, yes. Thanks a lot. So, yeah, we have been talking about emotional child safety. So, it is very, very important to provide that safe environment today because it impacts our future. So, here I would start from my story. So, I was 11 years old. I come from a big family, you can say. We were seven brothers and sisters, and we lost our mother when I was uh, barely 11 years old. I was studying in some class 7 or something. So, yeah, I have a younger brother also. So, he was merely 6 years old when we lost our mother. So I don't know how, but yes, he was a very good student, and he Mina we three younger ones, like two of the sisters, me, my sister, and my younger brother, all three of us were pretty close, and we were good at studies also. So Mina, my younger brother, I was talking about him. So Mina, how he just got that in his mind that he was the one who was the reason to lose our mother. And gradually, just after few years only, we saw that he lost the track, and he started keeping quiet, and in studies also he was not doing well. And all of us were young, nobody cared about that, but gradually he started reacting on very small things. And later on, right now the situation is worst, and he is just under medication. He is he is he's completely depressed. No medicine could bring him back. uh, Somehow we nobody in the family could figure out that in the early days when he had started showing the symptoms. So this is one story. The other story about myself, that once what happened, I had gone to someone's place, and I don't remember, but yes, he was a known person who tried to just he touched me very in a very bad manner. And somehow it, yes, that day someone must have come, and I was saved from a very bad situation. But that incident stuck in my mind. And believe me, Mina, till date I'm telling that whenever I have to go with any male member, be it my brother, be it anybody under the sun, a male member, a kind of that safety issue. I mean, like that, I start feeling that something might go wrong. Something might go wrong. So this used to disturb me a lot throughout my life. But yes, gradually I just came across many people. I just shared things with with friends and all. I came to know how to cope up with all these things. So these two stories I shared from my life itself, and how it has impacted. I talked about my brother who lost the track, and now he is under medication, and like he has living a very pitiful life, because father is also not there. Like, yes, my brothers are taking care of him, still he has no life. That is one instance that he himself could not manage things, and the environment was also not that he could get from any of us, right? The second example is mine, who also suffered something bad in her childhood, but I am really blessed that I got that kind of friend circle, and I was maybe a bit mentally strong, and that I could come out of this. So let's talk about the next thing, that out of this, the three key concepts come out. That first is awareness. Like, as the previous speakers have already talked about, that you need to recognize the signs of emotional distress. As I told about my brother, that we could not identify his emotional distress, what he was going through, that we were not aware of that. Even he could not understand that. That is, so awareness is very, very important. The second thing that comes, support. So yes, as a parent, as a community member, as a teacher, as a family member, we need to create a very safe environment for our children, be it our younger brother, sister, whosoever. Even I'm talking about the community itself. We need to create that safe environment for each and everyone. And the last thing, that the prevention. So something has happened in the past, fine, it has happened. Now we cannot change the past, but yes, we can make the future safe. So these three key concepts come over here. Next, let's move to that. Yes, I have already told about the prevention, that prevention is better than cure. So we need to make our children aware of these kind of things, that yes, if something goes wrong, how they need to identify the things, and if something goes wrong, then what should be their take, what should be their move. So there must be open communication, that at least they need one person in their life with whom they can talk very openly. So yeah, and for this, yes, we can implement some of the activities at home. So first one, that is art and creative expression. So here again, I would just cite an example of my daughter. So she loves drawing, and she was say 6 years old, and I used to live with my sister-in-law. So one day she made a drawing, and where she showed me that I am away from her and sitting with my sister-in-law. So what happened, that that time something was going on, and my sister-in-law needed me more. I had to support her, but this thing was hurting my daughter. So that is why she just made that drawing, and she had kept it in her rack. So I just picked up, and I saw that a line was also mentioned over there, that why always upstairs, right? So so this way, so like through her expression only, I came to know that she is going through such an emotional backlog. So I just talked to her, and from then on I started taking care of the things. So yeah, art and creative expression, that helps us a lot. And when we we can also make it like family time also, we can sit together and draw something, so there definitely our emotions we pour out. So the next thing that Sujata has already mentioned about storytelling and reading, bedtime stories, story sharing. And third is physical activities and play. So there must be active playtime, and here we can just make some role play sort of thing. Then you would, you can just tell the kid only that yes, you come up with a story, you tell us who will play what role, and you will see that they will come up with the stories, maybe some of the incidents that has happened in their life only. They can come up with those stories, and through that we will come to know about that. So these are the things that can be done. And next comes safe space creation. Yes, one place in the house, that there should be a place, a cozy corner must be there, where we encourage our children to sit and to spend time alone. So what this will help them to relax, and they can just keep themselves mentally calm. And so if these sort of practices are going on, then definitely this will lighten their emotional burden. Next comes that peer support group. If they have some friends around and nearby their houses, so we must encourage them to play together, if it is possible. So we also be there for some time if we can take out time. So it is really very helpful to to support them emotionally. And the last thing, that parental engagement. So listening sessions, as we have already talked about storytelling and all, and Sujata has also told, Moumita has also told about this, that yeah, we should listen to our children without judgment. Then emotional check-ins, how are you feeling today? So these rounds can be done while sitting, while just bantering together. So that time we can just share, if we initiate that today I felt bad or I am not feeling well, if we take the initiative as a parent, as the senior member of the family, then definitely the young ones of the family, they'll come forward and they'll share their feelings. So this way we can create that conducive environment where they feel easy to share their feelings. And so that is all. And yes, one thing before just winding up, that most of the times we start yelling on our children when they do something wrong. So you just remember that children need love, especially when they do not deserve it. So it is a line by Harold Halbert that we need to remember always, that yes, we need to support our children when we think that they do not deserve our support. So thank you so much, Krishna. I think her video is stuck. So thank you
Thank you so much, Krishna. I think her video is stuck.
with this.
Your voice
Thank
is
you, Krishna.
breaking,
It
Miss
was
Chaitali.
wonderful. Is it okay now?
I would just give a full stop.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Krishna. It was a wonderful to hear your story and your journey and understanding that how awareness, prevention, and support, all of this matters a lot. And it all starts at home by understanding how important is emotional safety for the children. With that, we can take the question from the audience. I have few questions with me, but let's see if anyone wants to go from the audience first. Whoever wants to to ask question, please go ahead. Yeah, Banotu Sashi Kumar, please go ahead. Unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello, hi Chitali, hi everyone. It's great. It's great meeting you all on this platform, and
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so ma'am, I'm
Are you
Shashi.
able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, yes. Yeah, ma'am. So my question over here is like parenting and all, right? We were discussing on parenting and all. So my question here is, should we allow our children to use mobile phone when they are like at young age? Uh, can we discuss something on this, ma'am? Like this, like very big question for me.
All right. Uh, who would like to go? Moumita, Sujata, Krishna. One of you can take the question.
The person who questioned, may please tell us who would you like to answer?
Uh,
Miss Krishna, Miss Sujata, or Miss Moumita?
Uh, okay, ma'am. Like let's say if we have time, then I need three perspectives, ma'am. It would be great if we have time. Otherwise, like let's start with the Momita. Like you have shared a lot of things, and then ma'am Sujata ma'am is like she told her experience and all, and later like Krishna ma'am, she told, matlab, she was actually experienced the closeness, matlab, both closely she was with the kids and all. So I need three different perspectives basically, but let's start with the Mohammed of us and then we'll go with the others if possible.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much. This is one of the very important questions actually. That kids generally are very much in contact with social media these days. I have mentioned one of the points in my earlier while I was speaking about the growth and development, about the emotional quotient of children, and the how can we feel children secured emotionally. So I also brought out one topic called monitoring the media exposure. You asked the question about how the kids should be allowed to, is it good for kids to watch the, social media? Is that was that your question? Can you repeat your question
Yes, yes,
once,
ma'am.
please,
Yes,
sir?
yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes. So my question over here is, should we allow our kids to use mobile phone or not?
Okay. Yes. So I'll give a very simple answer to you. Yes. See, this is the digital age. Then again, we cannot keep our kids away from these things which we are only using, because they learn what they see, right? While we are continuously using mobile phones and we are using laptops for our work, we cannot escape and we cannot tell them that no, you cannot use mobile phones. In that case, they will feel insecure and they will be like, why am I forbidden to do this kind of things? What? And that will attract them more to, explore those kind of things, right? This is very thing, curiosity is the mother of invention. So in case if we stop children, then watching or using mobile phones, that will make them more interested towards going towards those things. But I would suggest you that rather than stopping them to use mobile phones, we should monitor their media exposure. For example, there are certain, YouTube has also made a different platform for kids especially, right? Instagram has that. So adult contents are different, so to keep them safe emotional, because they may come up with such a content which may devastate them. Sometimes they may come up with some kind of content which can, just destroy their entire childhood, their innocence. So sit there with the kid and make them see those things, and just give them particular timings to, watch those things. Do not just completely forbid them to watch anything on social media, but allow them to watch things which are helpful to them. For example, educational videos, cartoons which help them to learn and grow. Like we used to watch Gully Gully Simpson kind of cartoons which help, like puppetry shows which helps us to understand. So yes, not Chota Bheem, but yeah, things like Gully Gully Simpson are very good where they teach kids. So yeah, do not keep them away, but yeah, allow them to watch, but keep them under your monitor there, what they are watching. Thank you.
Thank you, Mamita. Sujata, Krishna, do you want to add anything? And before I move to Sujata, how old is your child, sir?
Sorry, ma'am.
How
I'm
old
not
is your child? How old
like
is your child? Is
I'm not a married. So I'm like I am involved with
okay.
the children's. So I have matlab, I have my uncles, aunties, daughters, and
All right.
kids. So I'm very close to them. I closely monitor them. So that's the reason I got ki.
ठीक है.
Matlab, what else can we do or help them
ठीक है.
like
All
that,
right.
ma'am?
Yeah. Sujata, Krishna, you can add your points to Momita, whatever she said.
All right. So hi Sashi, Sujata here. Now, I would suggest that give them the ownership. Tell them, okay. So basically, what I feel is there is a hunger, right? Satisfy their hunger. But when you are satisfying their hunger, be with them. That is not going to happen for a long time. Yeah, for a few days they will say, take the option. Ask them that you take the ownership. You tell me how long do you want to watch the mobile. They will say 5 hours. You say, okay, fine. What is the time? Let's start at so and so time. Let's end at so and so time. But that has to be a pakka promise, right? Now, when they take the ownership, then they also become agent. They also become that self-disciplined. It's not easy again. Now, that is one part of it, and then planning. In those 5 hours, ask them what they want to watch. Is it a movie? Is it 2 movies, 3 movies, whatever it is? Let them plan first and have that decided that this is what I'm going to watch. If you can build that habit, it's going to be very time effective, at the same time consumption effective as well. And measuring whether whatever they are watching, the time and what they are watching, just ask them to write down. Do this exercise for 2 3 months religiously with them. That is where you need to keep your patience. But if you do that, if they get build that habit, they will stop binge watching.
Thank you. Thank you, Sujata. Krishna, your point, please, before we move on to the next question.
Yeah. So here, Momita and Sujata have just spoken everything. But yes, only one thing I would like to add that when we are giving them to, it is we cannot stop them to watch because we are living in the world of technologies, right? So here they have to master the technology. They don't have to become the slaves. So one thing we can do that we need to take interest what they are watching. That is the first thing. And we have to inculcate the habit of learning something out of that, like as I do, like whatever, even the cartoon, there might my I have two daughters, and whatever they watch, they have got into habit of that. Either they will learn from something, from the video something, then only they will watch that video, otherwise they will not watch. So that has come up. So this is what we need to inculcate. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna. And Sasi, being a psychologist, right, I just want to add one point here that why children use mobile, right, at every age. It is very important to understand the reason behind it, right? And it cannot be the source of their entertainment and their happiness. It's a resource which they need to use it for whatever purpose they have, right? It could be for younger age, it could be to listen to rhymes or the stories, and as they grow older, it could be for the education purpose. But the moment it becomes the source of the happiness, entertainment, escapism, is where we need to start worrying about it and start putting the control. And as Krishna said, and Sujata said, give them the ownership, give them freedom, but with the boundary and a very, very consistent boundary at every single time. The moment we become inconsistent, their behavior pattern changes and then they will expect something else, right? So that's something I would wanted to add. Thank you, Sasi. Hope you got an answer. And we have one more question from Mohit Kumar. Mohit Kumar, please go ahead and let us know whom are you asking this question to, please.
Good evening to everybody. My question is that you have told that, ma'am, bedtime story time is the allow to improve their emotional, but in the present time, my sister is a mother, and she always tell that she has not enough time to tell them story because husband is not supporting. She is doing all work alone, so there is no time to spend time with them alone. So it is a very crucial problem for everybody that they have no extra time to tell them story because of not cooperating parents, and it is the situation that children are going to the mobile. So first case is, second case is that you said you told about safety issue, but this is that era of OTT platform, and in this platform everybody is giving a very vulgarity. So it is very crucial. It is very difficult to deal the situation. So these are the questions. So how could we deal with this type of situation? Thank you.
Okay, Mohit sir, please let us know whom do you want to answer this question.
Anybody which will write. I don't anybody or everybody we could do that.
All right. Yeah. So anyone, Krishna, Sujata, Momita, any one of you can start, please.
So, Mohit, I would like to suggest now, before taking things to children, we will have to do certain homework, right? So, there are many YouTube channels, and which can be put more on a speaker and on an audio mode, where the stories are very soothing, especially during bedtime. Those stories would be of help. I mean, that is one way of taking the help of technology, right? Ideally, mother is the best storyteller, but I do accept what you said is absolutely right, because the mothers are so hard pressed with time that by the end of the day they do not have enough energy to tell stories, tell the bedtime stories for their children, right? The next best option is any adult available in the house, if possible. Uh, if not, tech is the support that we have, but then again, monitoring that is very important, right? And next thing is reading. Inculcating the habit of reading is one best thing, which can be done through reading. If you are not able to tell stories, you can always read stories. That doesn't need as much as energy to tell story on your own, right? And about OTT and the vulgarity, all right, you also have to make them sensitive that, do you think this is a good, it's always better to be open. A lot of times things are not expressed openly. Talk to them, what is right, what is wrong, what is okay to watch, what is not okay to watch. Let them answer. And when they are sensitive enough, there is no other way, because we cannot watch them 24/7, but we can sensitize them, what is right, what is wrong. Beyond that, if they are doing also, we also need to give them, techniques wherein they should not feel guilty, rather they should be able to clean up that I did a wrong thing. So this is what is what my suggestion, my personal opinion.
Thank you, Sujata. Mohit, hope you got your answer.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Aarti, you have raised your hand. Please go ahead with your question and let us know if any specific person you would like to get answer from. Aarti, you can unmute and ask your question, please.
No, ma'am, it was by mistake. Actually, already yearly this previously they both spoke. No, that was my question. So no, nothing to ask.
All right.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions from the audience? Anyone else? Yes, Sashi Kumar wants to go ahead one more time. But before we proceed, Sujata, Krishna, and Moumita, it is 8:16, and please let me know if you would like to take this last question before we wind up the session. Is that okay?
We can go ahead with the question, Chaitanya.
All right. Go ahead, Sashi Kumar, please.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Thanks. Like, ma'am, there's no question, but I just wanted to add some point over here. So I recently watched the documentary called The Social Dilemma. It's available in Netflix, so you guys can watch this documentary where it showed how this social media is impacting the younger age or the teenage people, basically, where it has shown everything, as in like how it works, how the Instagram, Facebook, social media algorithm works. So it's kind of matlab, understanding. If you guys go through this movie, if you watch this movie, you'll get to know ki how social media is completely destroying the younger generation, basically. So you guys can watch this movie if you want, and next, like, we can discuss anything if possible on that thing or not. Let's see for the next session, and we can go ahead. Yeah, that's it from my end. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shashi.
Thank you. So,
Not to interrupt, but what is
yes,
the name of the movie?
The social,
social.
Name of.
the social
Social
dilemma.
dilemma.
I'll just post it in the message.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Azil, you want to go ahead? Azil, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shetali, and thank you all the speakers, Moumita, Sujata, and Krishna for such lovely points. Since there are a couple of queries that have come in from parents with respect to digital safety for their children, just would like to convey that the fourth week of June, we will be posting a special session just like this, how we have today on emotional safety. We will be having a cyber security safety for children. So please do attend that particular session. It's for parents, for youth, and responsible adults working in the along with children, taking care of children. I think that will give a bigger, broader perspective on this topic. That's it, Chaitali. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Momita, Sujata, Krishna, for your wonderful inputs. And I'm sure this is going to make parents aware and see how they can do better with their children emotional safety, because we always worry about the physical safety, but emotional safety is equally important. And I think all their guidance and inputs are going to help us to become better with our children. Thank you once again. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chaitali. Thank you for the wonderful hosting.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Miss Chaitali, for the wonderful hosting.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Miss Sujata and Krishna, for wonderful insights. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Moumita. Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a good
Thanks,
night.
everyone.
Yeah.
Good night, all
Thank
of
you
you.
so much.
Bye bye.
Yeah.